this is David Cohen again. It is Sunday again. And today I wanted to talk about something else. But then things happened that bring me back to my roots in terms of why I started my own channel and when I started it. It was only last year, but it seems way longer. It started last year with Fujifilm X106 and Leica's new Deluxe 8. And I was sick and tired, literally, sick and tired of reading, seeing, watching so much nothing, incompetence, and I don't know, attention seeking. There is another word, but I will not use it now. Attention seeking nobodies, usually referred to as influencers, talking about things they obviously don't understand, telling people what to buy, what not to buy, 10 reasons, 5 reasons, don't buy like a Deluxe 8 or this and that. Now, Fujifilm finally released their latest model in terms of latest camera they released and the latest model of the XE series. Some of you will remember that the XE4 was a very popular camera, huge demand, and Fujifilm silently, quietly terminated after a year or so. Now, when we look at this presentation and the reaction on YouTube and everywhere else, I find the same pattern again. It is incompetence, it is total lack of understanding of what they are talking about. Now, XE5 is a massive step forward. It is, together with X106 and the latest release of the GFX 100 RF, now a solid, how can I say, package of cameras that speak for themselves. This is no longer a beginner's camera. It has the same sensor as the X106. IBIS is even a little bit better, also a first for the XE series. Blah, 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 blah. I will not go into this because other people do this way better than me. But you don't have to be a genius just when you read the specs and you understand what you're talking about. Most people don't, especially those full of alarmism, whatever, yeah? You understand where you're going. I even see somebody like the German, I don't know, I don't really call him photographer, publisher Stefan Wiesner, who actually had the camera, but even said that you cannot tilt the display up, even though you can. People corrected him in the comments. He doesn't even bother to answer. Now, if you want to know about the camera, ask, as usual, Hugh Brownstone, who, as I always say, is the best. Paltotech, the Fuji guy, admitted to having forgotten to answer back in time in order to receive his review camera model. But he does what reasonable people do. He went through the facts, showed similar examples. So the best in-depth review of this camera is, as always, Hugh Brownstone. You can also check out Paltotech. Stefan Wiesner, I have difficulties in taking someone seriously who has the camera, but he's obviously so busy being much more of a publisher and meeting his buddies for photo trips, and then compiling a series and a series review. Anyway, today I read, don't buy before you read this. They are all, and I say it very, very strongly, they are all nobodies and ignorance. Why don't people, let's put it the other way, why do people even click such nonsense? I tell you why. They are no better than these. To put it in a political context, a moron and psychopath like Adolf Hitler would have never been able to get away and implement his politics if he had not found people of his kind. If you are, I need to listen to this, I have to hear that, I don't know what to do, then why don't you sit down, do the boring thing, read reviews, read for your own, do your own research. At least you claim to be interested in photography. At least you claim to have an opinion which should always be based on facts and not on feelings, because then we call this prejudice. Another thing, and some of you may have even seen this here. Now, you may remember from my first channel that we said we will not buy DJI for the support for the Russian war effort. Now, we tried several cameras, and recently, the last few weeks, we used the X106. We even had a look at Canon's new vlogging camera, the V1, but nothing really compares to DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and we finally got ours. We had to wait for 3 months. We even announced it, that we made this order. A few days ago, we got ours in the Creator pack, Creator combo. And here we are. So our first steps, baby steps with the camera were very promising. It is actually the camera that is being used now. It came together with this microphone, even though we have a lavalier from Newer. We really wanted to test everything together. I want to return once again to the whole business of photography reviewers. You have to, not only when you start out or when you are busy with photography, and I'm not talking about those who make money with photography, but they are sometimes wrong too. You have to, first of all, I keep repeating myself, find your niche. But way more important, and that affects every aspect of your life, why don't you do the boring thing? Sit down. What is new? What does it offer? Are there similarities? And yes, the XE5 shares a lot with the X106. So everybody who is talking about image quality, talking all kinds of nonsense, totally ignores the fact that we already know the image quality of the XE5. Take every photo taken with a Fujifilm X106. If you want to know about IBIS, take those who, like me, use X106. There is IBIS, and XE5's IBIS is even better by one stop. It is not much, but it is. It has a new and very elegant, very, very elegant film simulation lever. It is a wheel with a very elegant retro window on the top plate. It looks beautiful. I would buy it just for the sake of owning it. But I really, since we are digital nomads, we are traveling all the time, and I wouldn't really know what to do with it. Yes, I would do some photos, but know your niche, you know, also for me. And just for the sake of it being beautiful, doesn't really justify to spend money on it. We are talking about this. I also want to draw your attention to a very interesting video I found by Sean Tucker. You will find it underneath. He explains white balance, auto white balance, and the virtue of using, as he does in more than 90% of the cases, he uses 5.5K Kelvin. And he makes a very compelling case for that. He goes into very deep details, he explains it, and I really want you to have a look at this video and to really follow his train of thoughts, because I have rarely seen such calm and informative instruction. It's not even instruction. He makes his statement. He clearly points out the pros that by far outweigh the cons. And since we are talking about photography, I really recommend watching his particular video that you find underneath, and maybe follow him too. One final note I want to make. Friday 13, Israel finally launched a preemptive strike against Iran. I have been contacted by several people who know, I don't hide it, that I'm Jewish. The nicer ones asked for my opinion, as if I owe them an explanation. Others directly attacked me. I make it very clear. Whoever attacks Israel in comments under my videos will be removed. Israel did not start a war. A preemptive strike does not mean it started a war. It is a preemptive strike that prevented in 1981 Iraq from gaining nuclear capabilities, and we should have been very grateful, because look at the mess Iraq is in now. Nevertheless, I spare you the details. The war started in 1979 when the Islamic dictatorship of the Ayatollahs took power, ousted a friend and ally of Western civilization, the Shah of Persia, and ever since Iran, the mullahs have been behind terrorism, subversion, killings, whatever. Israel is doing the dirty job for us, because we, in many cases, following the woke left, are unwilling and I would even say incompetent, impotent to defend our free society. I will not discuss all of this, because that's not the channel. But I will make it very clear, because it is very much telling that I, as a photographer, yes, I am Jewish, but I will not take any attack or something between the lines for my solidarity with Israel. I make it very clear, if you try to go down that road, you will be removed. Last time I spoke about me being a Jewish photographer, I lost subscribers. I don't care. Rather, those leave. I don't want them anyway. I wouldn't want them as my neighbor. I wouldn't want them even as a, I don't know, table mate in a restaurant. Leave. But I make it clear, you will be removed. Other than this, I will, and that was originally the plan today, I wanted to show you all the cameras and discuss all the cameras I ever owned in my life, beginning with the very first one that I really owned. It was a Kodak Instamatic. And we will go through, using photos, all these cameras that I owned and what I did, if I can remember. There were quite some. And I hope you will find that interesting and maybe a little bit amusing. And this should be next week the topic of my video, unless something else happens. Nevertheless, if you liked that video, I know this one was heavy, if you like my channel, or even that particular clip, or any other before, please like and subscribe. You help me a lot to keep this channel afloat. I hear from people, on the other hand, too, that they are looking forward to my weekly clips, to my insights. Yes, they differ, but you also don't always eat the same. And those of you who do, maybe try something else. Now, tonight is Formula One in Canada. I'm looking forward to it. I hope to see Verstappen win. And I say, have a nice day, have a nice evening, have a good start into the next week starting tomorrow, and see you next week. Bye.